2.
I was the woman who stayed by Victor's side the longest. I believe this was due to two reasons. First, I was genuinely beautiful. Even in an entertainment industry filled with stunning faces, I consistently ranked among the nominees for most beautiful in the business. Second, I was truly obedient and well-behaved. You have to understand, any woman, especially those around Victor, would inevitably become spoiled and presumptuous from all the flattery and attention. When Victor was in a generous mood, he might indulge you a little, but once he grew impatient, you'd likely never see him again. I never interacted much with his subordinates. Occasionally, if someone came to me hoping I could ask him for a favor, I would simply smile, nod, and politely decline without saying a word. The most extreme case was when someone brought over a solid piece of jadeite about 2 feet tall. It was completely translucent and of exceptional quality. Placed in the center of the living room, it seemed to glow with a soft, gentle light. The person in charge smiled very courteously and said, "Miss Miller, I'm not asking you to do anything difficult. I just hope you can help arrange a meeting with Mr. Wilson." To say I wasn't tempted would be a lie. An inner battle raged inside me. But outwardly, I kept a calm smile. After all, I was good at keeping up appearances. I didn't even glance at that jade out of the corner of my eye, acting as though I was above such worldly temptations. Later, as the visitor was leaving, he even praised me admiringly, saying, "As expected of someone by Mr. Wilson's side. You've weathered all kinds of storms. How presumptuous of me to bring such a trivial thing to ask for your help." Heaven is my witness, if that jade had a soul and heard itself called a trivial thing, it might have coughed up blood in outrage. In truth, he didn't know my heart was bleeding too. Later, that person found another way to get to Victor. When Victor learned about the incident, he had the jadeite delivered to the high-rise Riverside apartment he'd given me that very night. He looked at me with a smile and said, "A piece of jade like this. I'm impressed you weren't tempted." Then he chuckled. "With nerves like that, it's hard to believe you had the courage to recommend yourself to me back then." Sometimes, when I accompany him to social events and see people trying to curry favor with me, he'll tease me with a half smile and say, "Don't scare her, everyone. My little girlfriend here has a courage smaller than a mouse's." Oh, right, he calls me his little girlfriend. Out of all the women he's been with over the years, I'm probably the only one who's had that title. In my 5th year by his side, I heard that underground casinos even started a betting pool, wagering on whether I'd rise from the ashes and become the real deal. The odds were as high as 1:350. The betting pool lasted for 2 years. In my 7th year with Victor, I placed a bet against myself. The thought of earning some extra spending money after our breakup made me quite happy. I don't think anyone understands better than I do why I've stayed by Victor's side for so long. It's because I don't love him. Of course, that's what he thinks. Not loving Victor is 1,000 times harder than falling for him. If you were in my shoes, you'd understand. With his charm, it's nearly impossible for anyone not to be drawn to him. After being with Victor for so long, I've certainly had my share of wild fantasies. In my 2nd year with him, I was part of a reality adventure show. One episode was a desert expedition. The production team, foolishly, dropped 4 of us in the middle of a vast desert with minimal survival supplies and told us to survive for 2 days and 1 night. But the crew's safety measures were inadequate. One night, a sandstorm swept through, and we lost contact with the team. I endured it for a full day and night. Just when I thought I was going to die in that desolate desert, Victor sent a helicopter to find me. Of course, he didn't come in person, but that didn't stop him from seeming like a god descending from heaven in my eyes. See how easy it is to fall for someone? Just one moment, one detail, can shatter the defenses you've built day and night. When everyone around you says things like, "Mr. Wilson seems really into you," "Mr. Wilson has never treated anyone else this way," or "Mr. Wilson probably has a crush on you," and honestly, who wouldn't? You're gorgeous. If I were a guy, I'd be interested too. You can't help but start to wonder, Does he actually have feelings for me? Fortunately, during that time when my emotions were surging and my affection was overwhelming, there were other women by his side. Perhaps because Victor truly has the looks and means to be a playboy, people might assume he has many women around him. But in reality, he isn't particularly interested in women, probably because he finds them too much trouble. At most, he'd keep 2 regular companions at a time. And over the years, I've been the only one who caught his eye, understood his mind, never acted spoiled or entitled, and never schemed against him. That woman was a rising star who debuted around the same time as I did. She hit her peak right from the start, starring in a teen drama. Her sweet and innocent image really connected with audiences, making her a nationwide sensation. And honestly, she was genuinely naive. Victor has always been generous to the people around him, so generous that it might have given this star the wrong idea. During her first month with Victor, she came to me and warned me with all the confidence of the official girlfriend. Let me make this clear. Victor is with me now. You should know your place. I was genuinely stunned at the time, thinking Victor had been won over by this innocent star. The budding affection I'd felt instantly withered. That is, until 3 days later, when Victor summoned me to accompany him to a banquet. As we were leaving, the star who had stood before me so arrogantly was stopped by bodyguards outside. She screamed hysterically, with no regard for her image. Why, Victor? How can you just cast me aside like this? What did I do wrong? Victor frowned slightly. After that, I never saw that actress again. She didn't even take on another project. She just faded into obscurity. During that time, I dreamed every night of her tear-stained face as she pleaded with Victor, so undignified, so lacking in self-respect. But as the dream went on, her tear-streaked face would slowly become my own. Victor would look down at me with cold, indifferent eyes and say, "Take her away." Every time I woke up startled by that look, I would remind myself again and again, I must never become the second her. Because crying like that is just too ugly, it ruins your image. Gradually, I became the only woman consistently by his side. Everyone would say, Serena must have some tricks. Victor has finally settled down. But I'd just laugh it off. The truth was, the women around him were always too restless, and he found them tiresome. If I ever took it seriously and ran to him saying, "Mr. Wilson, I like you," I'm sure those would be the last words I'd ever say to him. I've stayed by his side all this time simply because I know my place. From age 22 to 29, the most beautiful years of a woman's life, that's all it has been.